What's going on, everybody? My name is Thomas Marr. If you're just joining us, I am a U.S. Army veteran turned civilian project manager and powerlifting strongman coach. This 53-week series, it's all about real, no-cost training plans to help you meet your goals this year in 2025. We're moving into week 4 of our training, but feel free to jump in at any point. And if you haven't already, I'll link the intro video in the description below. And that gives a little bit more background about who I am and why I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll kick this off with our recap of last week. Week 3, that was January 12th to 18th. We had 6 full days of training. Day 1, we had our upper strength day where we pushed a little bit further on bench press. And I got a lot of good responses out of people. People starting to PR their bench and everything, so that was really awesome to hear. Let's stay after that. Day 2, on Tuesday, we had our HIIT day. This week was a doozy. I did both of those sessions on one day, and those hurt a lot more than I thought they would. So kudos to anybody else who accomplished those, because this week was pretty rough when it came to conditioning. So day 3, we had our lower strength day again, barbell deadlift for a 4x4, and a lot of supporting exercises. Day 4, Thursday, we had our steady state day. This week, I went ahead and did just as an example, I did 5 minutes on a bike and 5 minutes on a rower. And I just swapped for 30 minutes. I think it came out to 34 minutes. But keeping that heart rate up there above, 150, 160, and just keep putting in some effort there. So that's what I did for my conditioning day on day 4. Day 5, we had our full body strength day. Had a good squat session for 4x4. Worked up to a 425, 4x4, and then all of our supporting exercises as well. And day 6, Saturday, we had an active recovery day. I helped run a CrossFit meet here locally in town. So I just kind of counted that as my active recovery. We were moving weights and all that kind of stuff. So wasn't anything too difficult, but just enough to get moving around for the day. So that wraps up week 3. We're going to move on to week 4. It's going to look a lot like this past week. This is going to be our last week for this sort of macro cycle, this 4-week macro. So we'll get it kicked off with day 1, Monday. We have our upper strength day yet again. We're going to be doing barbell bench press, but this time we're bumping it up to a 4x5. I would like to see a lot of people maintain the same weight that they've put on this last week, but just adding another rep. But if you can't, that's okay. Let's just make sure we're making good calls and maintaining that structural integrity when it comes to the movements. Then we're going to follow that up with pull-ups for 4 sets of max reps, along with single arm overhead press, 4 sets of 10 on each side. You're going to see that a lot with a lot of our supporting exercises. We're going to actually go up in our set range, where we'll go from 3 to 4. So again, do superset, 4 sets of each of those, and then we'll move into our bent over rows, 4x10. Seated shoulder press for a 4x10. I got some questions on this one. You can do this with either dumbbell or straight bar, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Me personally, I do this with dumbbell. I feel like I get a little bit more activation in the shoulders, so but that's just my recommendation. But you can do whichever is more comfortable for you. And then we have another superset moving on from that of alternating dumbbell curls for a 4x10, and then French press or dumbbell Skullcrusher for a 4x10 as well. Superset those. And then close that day out with 3 sets of hang from bar for max time. That wraps up our upper strength day on Monday. Moving into Tuesday, we have another HIIT day. We've got 2 options here. Me personally, again, I'm going to do both, but don't feel obligated to do both. Let's just get in there and get some work in. So our first one I actually stole from one of our CrossFit comp events this past weekend. This is going to be a 4-time event. At the event, this was split between 2 people, but I think it would be really cool to see what we can do with just one person. So it's going to be 4-time. First up is going to be 60 cals on the rower. I would try to aim for anything below 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, something below there. Nice quick pace, but nothing too taxing, right? Because you're still going to have a lot to do in front of you. So moving on from that 60 cal row, I'm going to move right into a 60 dumbbell box step over. This is going to be like a 20-inch box. If you don't have a box, you can do a bench. If you're not comfortable stepping over, you can just do a step up. My recommendation is going to be 60 dumbbell box step overs at a 20-inch box. For men, our target is going to be 40-pound dumbbells. Women, it's going to be 20 to 25-pound dumbbells. Then moving on from that, we'll go right into 60 dumbbell power cleans. Again, same dumbbell weight, 40 pounds for the men, 20 to 25 pounds for women. Power cleans, I should make sure they're clean. Make sure elbows are all the way through, and make them really clean reps. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and shoot me a message, and we'll get you lined out. And then following that power clean, we're also going to run into 60 dumbbell front squats. Don't hang them on your side. Just go ahead and throw them on your shoulder. You can hold them by the handle here. You can put them behind your head, however you want. But we'll definitely want that load to be on top of the shoulders. It's just going to help you stay a little bit more upright anyway. And then also make sure that you're getting all the way through the movement. Make sure we're squatting down below parallel. So that's going to be 4 times. So 60 cal row, 60 box step overs, 60 dumbbell power cleans, and 60 dumbbell front squats. That's going to be our first option. Our second option is going to be 6 round for time. It's going to be 10 calories on the bike, 8 dumbbell snatches. It's going to be single arm snatch. So for men, the target's going to be a 50-pound dumbbell. You can adjust as you need. For women, it's going to be a 35-pound dumbbell. And again, just as you need. Moving on from 8 dumbbell snatch, we'll go right into 6 burpee box jump overs. That's going to be a 30-inch box. Make sure you're planting both feet on top of the box, just to slow the movement down and maintain that integrity as well, right? So 10 cal bike, 8 dumbbell snatch, 6 burpee box jump overs, and that'll be our second option there. So after that, we're going to move right into day 3, Wednesday. That's going to be our lower strength day. Again, you're going to see our barbell deadlift. It's going to be a 4x5 here as well. Again, let's try to make sure that let's try to maintain that same weight that we had last week, but we don't want to break down that movement at all. We don't want to risk ourselves for injury. So we'll try our best there, and then we'll move right into barbell stiff leg deadlifts. Since we're already taxed on the back, I'm going to keep that at 3x10. And I had a lot of people asking about their back was hurting after doing stiff leg deadlifts. It's probably because we've got a little bit too much weight on the bar for stiff leg deadlift. We want to make sure that we're feeling this all the way in our hamstring and glutes. Make sure we're maintaining that really, really tight tension on our hamstring and glutes, so that way we don't put as much of that load on our back. So we'll keep that at a 3x10 though. Moving into our third exercise, again it'll be dumbbell alternating step ups for 4x10 on each leg. Then we'll go into 4x10 for goblet squats, 4x10 for leg curls. On leg curls, I have a video out there, not of me, but a video that I found. If you don't have a leg curl machine, you can use dumbbells and a bench and get it done that way. If you have any questions, message me. I'll send you that video, and we'll get you hooked up there. From leg curls, we move into our superset, our calf superset for standing calf raise and then tib raise. 3x20 on each, and then our 7th exercise, we got 4 sets of ab rollouts for max reps. And if that's still too hard, you can still sub plank if that's a little bit too difficult for you. Day 4, Thursday, it's going to again be our steady state day. I gave you an example of what I did last week. Feel free to take that into account. But we want 30 minutes of steady pace training. We're not looking to blast out for 30 minutes. You want a quick pace, but not all out. RP 8. So this counts for a light running, air bike at 220, 240 plus watts, rowing at about a 210 or better pace, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll take care of our steady state day. Day 5, Friday, is going to be our full body strength day. We're going to move into squats there as well, 4x5 on squats. Again, try to maintain the same weight as last week, but if not, be mindful of what you're putting on the bar. So we definitely want to put in some effort here. Closing out this training block. Our second exercise is going to be back extensions for a 4x15. Then we got incline dumbbell press for a 4x10. Then we have our first superset, dumbbell hammer curls for a 4x15, followed by push-ups for a 4x20. We'll be supersetting that, so curl, push-up, curl, push-up, curl, push-up. And then same thing for farmer's walk and shrugs, same thing. 4 sets of 30-meter farmer's walk and then 15 shrugs. After this whole week, our grip's probably going to be a little bit taxed. So just be mindful of the weight that you're pulling. We definitely don't want to drop those kettlebells whenever we're getting to the end of the walk and doing our shrugs. We want to make sure that's one total movement there. So, and then closing out our full body strength day, we're going to have everybody's favorite Bulgarian split squats for 4x12 on each leg. If you're all just a little bit tired, you can do these body weight. I'd like to see a little bit of weight on a dumbbell. But if you can't, no worries. Just make sure you're putting in that effort. And then our day 6, Saturday, is going to be our Zulu day, our active recovery day, 45 minutes of continuous low impact activity, walking, swimming, rucking around with a light pack, keeping it at a naturally brisk pace. You still want to be able to hold an intelligent conversation with somebody next to you. So that'll wrap up our day 6, and then we'll move into our next block next week. So that's that. Week 4. Week 4 is here. By now, you should be starting to realize that this isn't really just about lifting weights or checking off workouts. It's about making that decision to take ownership of where you're at in your life, taking ownership of your journey here. I saw a Simon Sinek post. He's a leadership conference guy, very intelligent human. And he said, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. That doesn't just apply to everybody else. That applies to how you lead your own life too, because how you lead your life has an effect on everybody around you, physically, mentally, emotionally, professionally, like everywhere. You're in charge of your success, your progress, and ultimately the direction you want to go, right? When we apply this to a training, like last week was tough, but if you see every challenge as an opportunity to show up for yourself, to lead your own progress, and to prove that you're capable of more and more every single day, the sky's the limit. That's going to have an effect not only on you, but everybody around you, your relationships with the people around you, your family, friends, your neighbors, your people at work. People are going to see that you're working on yourself. And that you're bettering yourself for tomorrow. So, owning your success means being consistent, even when it's hard. Right now, training is hard, but stay at it, keep training hard, keep banging out the weights, and take responsibility for the effort that you bring into every session. There's not every day I want to come into the gym and go through 2 HIIT workouts in a day, but that's something that I've committed to, and that's something that I know is going to get me better. So I've taken that burden, put that on myself, and I will go do that so that way I can be better for everyone around me. So take that responsibility this week. Lean into that mindset. Be the leader of your own progress. Show up, do the work, build the confidence. And that comes with knowing you're in control of where you can be tomorrow. So with all that being said, let's get after it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave a comment in the description or in the comments below, or you can shoot me a message on social media. I'll have those in the description as well. With all that, let's get after it this week and train hard. Thanks, everybody.